Okay, so now we have our template chosen and installed. We're going to work on the global colors that Elementor allows us to use that will quickly transform our template to the specifications that the client is requesting. So I know there's like 1,000 different color palette generators. Canva will do it. Adobe Colors is good. There's Coolers. There's a whole bunch of them, and I'm not real keen on which one you use, but I will show you kind of the path that I'm going to take. I'm going to use like at least 2 different ones, and I'll explain why. So this first one is iColor Palette. I kind of like everything about it except for a few little quirks. But the one thing that I'm going to show you that I particularly like about it is it will give you it'll generate a random palette based on the image that you've supplied. Now, going forward, what our goal is to have the Pinterest board created by the client, and that should generate some type of color scheme. We can take a screenshot of that board and import it into here. So for this example, I'm going to use an already created image that the client gave me. So I'm going to create a palette from an image. I'm going to upload the image. And this is her logo plus a geode that she found somewhere, an image of a geode. So this has given, now one thing I like about this is particularly why I'm using this. It's going to give all kinds of different palettes based on these 2 images. So I'm just going to shuffle through here. Now this, I'm not keen on. So I'm going to shuffle through there. And this is the only one that I have found that will do this. I do think, now that's looking pretty good. I kind of like that. I'm going to save this palette. It will continue to say saving. It doesn't actually ever stop saying that, which is a little, that's annoying. So I'm going to continue shuffling through. That's a darker one. Let's see. This is nice. This is rather lovely. I'm gonna see if I can. There's quirks about this, and that may be a problem there. But so that gave me to another page. I know this is going to be a little confusing, but the loveliness of recording without a script, right? So let's try this again. Okay, let's try it 3 times. And if at first you don't succeed, just refresh your page and start from the beginning. All right, here we go. Okay, now, this is rather lovely. The only thing I don't, and I did send a message to their support, but this is one of those things that I'm not certain that this is still being supported. So, we're going to save to the cloud. It's going to continue saying that. We're going to try, and I am clearly logged in. So I'm going to look at my palettes. And okay, it is saving the palettes, so that's a good thing. Another quirky thing is you can't delete a palette, so I don't know what this, looks like over time. So that's one of the questions I had for support. But I'm looking at these, so this is why I'm using this one, because this is the only one I've found that will generate those random palettes based on that one image. I kind of like this because of that purple, but I do like this one because it's kind of a candy, cotton candy-ish type of very feminine type of palette. So I'm going to just stick with these 2 just to see how we're going to create the the global colors over in Elementor. So let me see, if I said I want to view this, hopefully it's going to give me the hex. All right. Ah, yes, it does. Cool, cool, cool. Now I can take this and go straight over. This is what I'm going to do. This, you could go over and go straight to Elementor. But this is what I'm going to do because I find this is an AI-driven color palette. And this is kind of curious. It's a little wonky too, but if you keep going back and forth, you might be able to get something. So I'm going to highlight that color, that hex color. I'm going to put it over here. Like I say, everything is kind of wonky. How do we get, nope, see how that does? Let's see. Oh, if I go over here and I just don't grab the, okay, let's go back over here, trying to copy and paste. So, we got website colors. What is this saying? Oh, okay. So that's kind of crazy, that little meter thing there. But that's going to, we're going to try and change that color. And then we're going to try and, so I'm going to pause this because it's kind of, you see what's going on here. Let's unlock that. So let me pause this for a moment and get all these colors in here and show you what we're getting ready to do. All right, now we're back. I have transferred all those hex colors over here to ColorMind. And if you notice, it says website colors. The magic of this is that it creates a color scheme. It actually creates a little bit of a web page for you. So this could be useful. This could bring some inspiration. As you can see, I'm not loving that it pulled that turquoise out for a background. I'm going to generate this again and see. So it just changes. So, but check this out. So see how it changed just ever so slightly. And you can, well, you can get the buttons. You can get ideas for your buttons. You can get ideas for, this is, a lot of this is UI components. You can look through here, and I just like it because it does give you kind of a starting point just to go straight into, your global colors. So we are going to, and this is just to get inspiration. You don't have to stay with this. So now we're going to go to our website, and we're going to get our global colors changed for this particular theme. Okay, so we're back, and we're in the back end of our Inspired Creatives .elementor.cloud website. Now remember that this is your temporary URL until we change it over to a custom URL. And one thing you might note, that if you go to elementor.com, and remember each client will have their own installation, they will have their own package of the hosting and the website. So you can go to elementor.com or my.elementor.com and log in with their credentials, and then you're going to see the websites that they have. Try your website, and I don't know what that is, that's an advertisement, but you can go straight back to the dashboard from here, either way. So remember that we had our template created from our kit. We're going to go to the home page, and the one nice thing about those kits, remember, is it just creates your about page, your contact page, all this stuff that's going to save us time. So going into Elementor, and I just want to show you right quick. Well, shouldn't have done that. Okay. Waiting for Elementor to load here. Okay, so you can see right there, we got this kind of pastel pink going on, and that's fine and dandy, but that's nowhere near what the client wants. So one thing about Elementor we can get to global. We're going to go to site settings, and we're going to go to global colors. And as you can see, global colors are already here. You can kind of match them up. Secondary is this pink. There's a lot of pinks going on. Let's see. Background, BG overlay, pop-up. That's a very light pink. BG kit. So this is the background here. So sometimes you just have to play around with this, but I'm going to try and see what changing this BG kit gives me. And remember, I can go back here and I can find my hex values. So I'm just going to grab this. I'm thinking that I really want that a little bit darker, but we're just playing around BG kit. We're going to change that. That's not bad. I could live with it for the sake of this this demo. That's what I'm going to do. Now that's, I think I would make it a little more pastel, but like I say, for the sake of this demo, that's what we're doing. Now, where are these pinks? That's actually a graphic, but where is these pinkish things coming? Let's look for that. We got secondary. We got dark pink. I wouldn't call that a dark pink, but let's go with it and see what we come up with. Do we have a darker? This isn't going to look good, but I am going, sometimes you just have to be subjective about these things and really just play. Now, I'm not sure. Like I say, I don't know which color that is. This looks like that color, so let's play with that. Nothing's written in stone. You can always go back. You even have versions, so that's a little darker. It didn't, do a whole bunch. I wonder what this color is. Possibly the secondary. Let's see. We're going to do something really goofy that you wouldn't do, because I don't think this is going to look good. But, like I say, for the sake of this demonstration, yeah, so that's the secondary. So clearly the primary color, I would have made this background, but the primary color they're saying is this dark, almost black. And let's see what color we could pick up here. We really don't have any colors we can pick up. Let's grab something. It does, it does give you the palette shades. I mean, and that's another thing that a lot you're not going to be able to find. It's sticking with the palette, which is cool, and then it's doing all the shades. So that's kind of neat. Let's see. Now this is really, you really have to put more thought into it than I'm doing right now. But if you tell me, I don't, see, I think, yeah, that changed. So here we go. We are, creating our own color scheme, and it's extremely easy. Now, this looks really, really ugly. I would probably go with pastel blue back there. Really what I would probably do is I would probably have the lavender, or whatever you want to call this, light purple. I would probably make that the background than trying to do this blue, because that in her original, I don't think we have that up there, but in her original, the geode is so much purple and lilac. So I think we'd want to go there. But this is how, I want you to approach, getting to a global color scheme, because once you do this, we can just update it and we can see what it looks like on the front end for every page. So we've again saved ourselves a ton of time. I'm just going to go here and see what this looks like. So there, every page, let's see what we got here. Okay, it's going to have that, I'm not saying it looks good. This does not look good, and I wouldn't want to see anything like this. But like I say, for the sake of this demonstration, your color scheme is going to be throughout the site, and you only have to do that one time. So that's going to take you, maybe 30 minutes to, think out how you really want the color scheme to go and figure out what is being controlled in those global colors. Now, you also have the global fonts you can change. For this, I think for most of the templates, we don't really need to worry about changing. I think that they're professionally done, and the fonts that are being used are probably going to work for us. There are going to be cases where we might want to change, but if you pick a template and the template's working, don't worry about the fonts. We can always discuss that. So, long story short, that's how we can approach this, global color scheme. And what you basically have now is the only thing you have to do is add content. Now, perhaps there may be an instance that not all of these little areas are going to work for you. And again, we all know with Elementor, we've got these Lego blocks that can be added and subtracted and moved, and all kinds of reconfigurations. So if you need help with that, don't hesitate to reach out. So this is how we're going to go about getting our global color schemes, and I'll see what we should do as the next step.